Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, welcome to the Kathie J Show. I hope you're having a good day so far. I'm Kathie J, and you know, I say it every day, but thank you so much for spending this half hour with us. I love the time that we get to be together. Remember, you can always get caught up on past episodes at KathieJShow.com. And to everybody out there that's been following us on social media, I love reading all of the comments that you guys are throwing our way. Thank you so much for keeping that conversation going. So today, you're going to meet one of the coolest gals in Colorado. Like, I am so honored to say she's a friend of mine. She's always up for an adventure. She knows the best places to go in Colorado and actually the world, really. And she's also a meteorologist. Once a meteorologist, always a meteorologist. Please welcome to the show, travel journalist and adventurer, Jennifer Broome. Hey, Jen.
Oh my gosh, it is such a joy to not only see you, but to see some of the folks behind the scenes here.
I know.
It's so fun to be back in studio and to actually be home, too.
I know. Well, yeah, you've worked with most of us, so it is. And yes, you're finally here in Denver for a couple weeks because you are on the go nonstop. This past year, you did 50 places around the sun, right?
I did. I did 50 places to 50. I turned 50 on July 3rd.
Yes.
And when I was getting close to my 49th birthday last year, I was like, what can I do? I couldn't do 50 countries at the time because, a little thing called the pandemic.
Yeah, that was there.
So I decided to do 50 places. And that could be anything from a new trail, like Shrine Ridge over near on Vail Pass. Yeah. That was one of them. Okay. It could have been a road trip somewhere. It was new experiences. It was also new places like Honduras, Nepal. Yeah. There were some new countries thrown in there too. But
so like you said, you could have done 50 anything. Yep. Have you always just been attracted to the outdoors? Is that your thing, hiking and all that?
I think so. I mean, at a very young age, I loved going to a backpacking and horseback riding camp.
Yes, when we were kids. Yes, right.
Yes. But it wasn't until 2010 when I moved to Denver, the first time, because I moved here twice,
right.
that I really, really, truly fell in love with having such quick access to the mountains. Yeah. And not only the mountain landscapes, we have the foothills, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have it all here.
Yes.
And it just kind of opened my eyes. Now, I also had some things happening in my personal life, and the outdoors became very much a healer for me.
Yes.
I lost all my immediate family in a fairly short amount of time. My dad passed in 2010, my brother passed in 2016, my only sibling, and then I had my mom pass in 2019. But it was after my brother passed in 2016, I made a promise to him to never stay in a job or a relationship if I was not 100% happy. Now, granted, you can't realistically, you can't be, but that you have to be in love with what you're doing.
Yes.
And for so many years, I worked to travel. And I decided I'm going freelance. I need to go on a journey to joy. It started with a 3,000-mile road trip, and I haven't stopped.
She hasn't stopped. Like, she's back for about 2 weeks, and then she's moving out again. But it is so cool because Jennifer, one of those cool places that she went to was Mount Everest. I'm sorry, Everest Base Camp. Yeah. And we're going to get into all of the photos, the amazing trip, like the way that the plane looks like it comes off the runway and then just falls into a mountain.
Goes like this and then like this.
She did it all. And I want to ask you what it's like being a woman traveling alone. So when we come back, everybody, more adventures from Everest Base Camp. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. All right, welcome back to the Kathie J Show. I'm very excited because today, travel journalist and adventurer Jennifer Broome is hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being here, Jen.
It's fun to be home, too.
It is fun. So hi to all Jen's cousins.
Yes, all my cousins live in the Denver or Colorado area.
That's awesome. Very awesome. So you travel to so many places. Yeah. Like you said, you've been to Honduras, you've been to Ireland, you went to Everest Base Camp. Before we get into all the amazing photos of the trek, I want to ask you what it's like. I worry about you. You're a blonde white woman traveling around the world into, countries that probably aren't safe. How do you handle it? I mean, your safety.
It's not only countries, it's also when I'm going on a road trip in the United States solo. There are certain things that I do. First of all, especially if I'm going to another country, I actually do my research ahead of time. I make sure that I follow whatever is culturally acceptable there.
Yep, right.
For example, some countries, females should not be wearing shorts, should not be wearing sleeveless shirts. You want to dress and make sure that you are culturally appropriate. So I'll do the research first. And then when I am solo, I basically will make sure I stay in a hotel.
Okay.
Versus an Airbnb, because I always want somebody to have an eye on me. And most hotels will have a camera. There's a record of me coming and going.
Yeah.
You do have to think about those things. I'm also very conscious about traveling at night. I will generally make sure that I do dinner or something either at the hotel or very close to the hotel.
Okay.
And pretty much once it starts to get dark,
you're
make
inside.
sure. Yeah. I mean, look, my mama used to say nothing good ever happened after midnight. And
It's
you're
you're
traveling
right.
around the world. Nothing good ever happens after 9 o'clock if you're a female.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Good. So, but I still worry about you, just so you know.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so let's talk about the trek. Let's talk. Where did you go? Kathmandu. You went.
Yeah. Okay. So you start in Kathmandu, and then from there you take a
Wow.
That's the first view of Everest. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing.
You took a helicopter?
I did with Simone Moro. There he is, right there. He is a world-renowned mountaineer, and here we are going into Lukla landing. It is considered one of the most dangerous airports in the world.
Because look at that. That's your runway. If
That
you
is
don't
the
make
runway.
that, you're out.
We took the helicopter over, and then we took the plane out.
Look
I
at it
preferred
going
the
off.
helicopter.
I'm sorry. Look at this.
Yeah, you can bear. There it goes. So that runway, you can kind of see it there. It actually goes down. So you're going down hoping that the plane catches lift, and then when here we are, we're going on the trek. I have a fear of heights. The suspension bridges were tough. It's the scenery. That's Gelgin in front of me.
Wow.
Here we are going into the national park. That's the Hillary Bridge. There I am. Oh, that's the Porter going across.
Wow.
And I mean, just fascinating. I, with that fear of heights, really challenged it on the suspension bridges, and Gelgin, one of our Sherpas, and I laughed. Every time we would go across, there was some sort of livestock train, either coming from behind us or coming the other way.
That you would have to.
I ran. I don't like heights to begin with. I really don't like being on a suspension bridge if there's a donkey train or zopkios, which are the cross between the yak and cattle. And
You would have to share the suspension bridge with them?
I was running.
Okay, that's where you.
We would wait. You'd either wait or, they get the right of way. So do the people that are carrying, which is one of the things, like people carrying just these massive amounts on their back.
Yes.
They get the right of way.
Yes.
And that's what people, I don't think, realize. Like, you often hear about the Everest expeditions.
Yeah, you're right.
You need everybody that's going and trying to summit. They go
and there's
from
like
base
25
camp.
people that head on up, and yes.
More than that. But
Okay, wow.
yeah, a lot more than that. But what I did was the trek, and it is, it's 80 miles round trip, but you do have to do acclimatization hikes.
Okay.
Here's our group. I went with Dr. John Kodrowski out of Vail, and we had several of us from Colorado, and just had an amazing time. You can see our group of 6 and our 2 Sherpas, and
That's
the
awesome.
Sherpas. Oh, there's my friend Haley. I played soccer with the kids because, of course, you trek all day. Why would you not? There's Dana. She lives here in Denver. Just had a wonderful, wonderful time and experiencing the people.
Yes.
But you do the entire trek is 80 miles round trip, but you also do the acclimatization hikes.
Okay.
And then you also do, in base camp, we did bonus mileage there. This is just spring in the Himalayas.
It's beautiful.
It is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. What I learned was that the trek is not all the way up on the way and all the way down on the way back. Somehow it was up on the way back too. I'm not real sure, but but it's the scenery itself is fantastic. And I will tell you, like, being at places, especially like Feriche, 14,000 feet.
Yes.
Basically standing on top of Colorado's 14ers.
Yeah.
And looking around, Ama de Blam, and all
Things
of these.
still bigger than you, right?
They are massive. They are incredibly massive. But yet the people are so tiny. Yeah. And so incredibly strong and so gracious. And
I mean, what they carry and stuff. So let's talk more about it. Okay, so when we come back, everybody, we're going to get into the base camp talk and all the people that Jen met. We'll be back. Kathie J. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Kathie J. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kathie J Show. Yay! Before the break, I'm sorry, I just love seeing the fact that Jennifer Broome's on the couch. Yay! right. Everybody, this is travel journalist and adventurer Jennifer Broome. You might recognize her as a meteorologist here in Denver as well. And you've been an anchor. You've done so much here in Denver in the media. And that's how all of us know you. You're amazing at what you do.
This is my home.
Yes.
You know, I'm originally from South Carolina, so I'm always once a Southern girl, always a Southern girl. But but this is my home. My cousins live here, and I love Denver, and I love our outdoors in Colorado.
And I love that you've been doing all these adventures and taking us with you.
Yeah.
Now we've been talking about Everest Base Camp, which is where you went. I want to talk one more time about the fact that you are scared of heights. Who is scared of heights and does 14ers and then says I'm going to Everest Base Camp? I mean, that's crazy.
So I'm doing things like challenging my fear of heights within reason.
Okay.
And
no,
I'll honestly tell you, I did not know how many suspension bridges I was going to have to go across. If I would have known that, I might have thought about it. But for me, a lot of people have said, well, why didn't you summit? Why didn't you go for the expedition part? Because of my fear of heights. I have no desire to walk across a ladder over an endless crevasse. That's not no.
Is that what they have to do if they want to get to the summit?
So you go through the ice fall, and then there are sections where you have to not only walk across it, but with big old mountaineer boots and crampons. No,
I think I'm good.
But I mean, just like sitting there and being at base camp and looking up, and even just on the trek, that first view of Everest from the plane.
Yeah.
There you are going into base camp. There's some people that are actually trying to do some new routes to avoid the ice fall, to keep people a little safer.
I always wondered that, Jen.
There's
I always
the ice
wondered
fall.
if there was any way. There's got to be another way to get up there.
On the trail, I met a lot of these friends.
They have the right of way, absolutely.
Yeah, so there's the rock that you see so many people when they trek to Everest Base Camp. There's Base Camp itself. I did not know that it is as big as it is. So from the rock to where we went, which was the start of the ice fall, we had special permission and went in and had lunch with Arnold Koster Expeditions because John, my trek leader, has summited Everest and also does his own expeditions too.
Right.
We had special permission to go in. Most trekkers stop at the rock.
Yeah.
So we got to do the bonus mile in, mile out. So that's why I got a 90-mile trek.
Yay! Now, what did you feel? I mean, obviously,
horrible.
Did you feel the air, your lungs? I mean, did you feel?
I felt that like back at 15,000 feet. You do in Dingboche, you do a acclimatization hike that takes you up to, I believe it's about 6'8", and I knew if I could do that I was good.
Yeah.
So the rock is about 17.2. We went all the way to 17.5. And realistically, I felt horrible in base camp, awful. But it was a fascinating experience to go through. Our Sherpas were amazing, Geljan and Lakpa. There were moments where they just took my backpack.
Oh, that's
the porters carry your big duffel bags, and you try to keep them within 30 pounds.
Yes.
But here we are going through some of the towns. That was one of the biggest surprises.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Look, I'm playing soccer. That's in Namche. I had no idea that there were so many villages and that it's as well supported. So you stop and you have tea at these tea houses during your trek. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
And just each different town is just a different experience. These are our porters.
How do they? That's how they
carry it. That's how they carry it.
They look miserable.
No, they don't. And then you see people, carrying things. I'm like, how are you doing that?
Right. Look at that.
And I'm passing that person and just absolutely, gasping for every breath.
Right.
And, a lot of things that I would use, like I'm a Peloton person, so there's an instructor, her name's Christine, and she has a saying, I am, I will, I can, I do. And I knew if I could say that, or Glennon Doyle has the phrase, we can do tough things or we can do hard things.
Yeah.
I said those mantras over and over and over. And I knew if I was saying those, I was breathing.
Oh,
and if I was breathing, I could keep moving.
So that's what kept you going.
Yeah. And it's honestly, I know, like John, when we were at base camp, he said to me, I knew you were tough, but I didn't know how tough. I was by far the oldest in our group, by far. And so I was the slowest, which meant I got to hang with the Sherpa the entire way, which I loved because I learned so much about their home and their lives and their families. But it's the mental toughness is more important than your physical strength.
Oh no, you definitely proved to the world that you are mentally tough as much as you're physically tough. Did that surprise you? Because I think you've always been a tough woman.
I'm a tough cookie. I knew that.
Right.
I knew that. I did not know how tough I was, though.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're going to be fully, at least I was, fully broken down in points. You're going to feel awful. You're going to, not think that you can go any farther, but you do. And then you get up the next day and you want to go again, and it's just, it's that mental strength that will get you through. I will honestly tell you, though, as soon as I got to base camp and we got to our final spot,
right.
Lakpa was with me that day, and the two of us walked in, the rest of the team's there. And I just looked at him and I just bawled. And he just gave me the hugest hug. And he's like, you did it.
Yes.
He said, no, I'm only halfway done with it. I got to get the heck back out.
Right, I still got it 40 miles that way.
Yeah.
So how long did the 80 miles, the 90 miles take you?
So we did it in 13 days.
Okay, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But now I also found out that I could have taken a helicopter out. I could have arranged for that, done the trek a little shorter.
Nah,
but
you had to prove to yourself you could do it.
There are ways to do things approachable if you wanted to go. The Everest View Hotel. You could fly into Namche and it is the best that I saw, the best view of Everest. It's phenomenal.
Oh, no, for sure. So everyone, you can always, follow Jennifer, Jennifer Broome Travel on her social media and find out more of where she's going. But when we come back, everybody, Jennifer, like you heard, she's a Colorado kid, so she knows all of the great hikes around here in Denver, so she's going to tell them to us next.
Kathie J.
Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness.
Kathie J.
Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So this whole half hour, we've been learning more about travel and the amazing world over at Everest Base Camp from Jennifer Broome, our travel journalist and adventurer. You've been all over the world, and you just described it's hard at Everest Base Camp, and you learned a lot about yourself. Would you do it again?
100%. Let's go.
You're saying because you really miss
Actually,
it.
Annapurna, I think I want to do is my next one that I want to do.
Which one? What is it?
Annapurna. That's also in Nepal. I also want to do Machu Picchu. I'm still thinking about Kilimanjaro.
Now, are you talking about summiting, or are you just
Kilimanjaro will go for the summit. Annapurna circuit is kind of like what I did with Everest Base Camp it's the trek part, not the expedition part of it.
Okay.
There's a difference. So expedition people are the ones going for the summit.
Okay.
Trekkers are the ones like me, which is, quite frankly, a lot of Americans, I've had a lot of people say, wait, what? Oh, you can go and trek to base camp?
Yeah, right.
But for all over the world, there were not many Americans there. There were many other people from Malaysia to the UK, and which I love because you meet people from all over the world.
Totally, yes. No, it is wonderful. But now let's bring it back here to Colorado.
Okay.
Okay, so you've been walking around Colorado for years, everybody. So give us, you know me, I need a moderate hike.
Yeah, so
I need a beginner one.
Okay, just prefaces. I've done all these hikes in the past month, and these are ones.
Of course you have.
Well, I wanted to do ones that are approachable. Arthur's Rock.
Okay.
This is a great alternative to Horsetooth Rock up in Fort Collins. It is just fantastic. It's great for families. Yes, there is an incline. You are going up, but you cross meadows. There is the actual rock outcropping right there. There's forests. There's great views of Horsetooth Reservoir. It's just a fantastic hike to do that's very approachable, very easy. It's also dog friendly. So it's family friendly and dog friendly.
I love that. Okay, Watertown Canyon.
Oh, Watertown Canyon. I just did this last week. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's flat. So it's an out and back. You can go as far as you want.
Was that where I walk right there on the road?
That's your walking path.
All right, that's what I like.
You are walking along the South Platte River. Now, when you see that sign, this is just before the 2.5 mile mark. Look up in those cliffs. Do you see some little things moving? Those are bighorn sheep.
You're kidding. They're
right
up there?
now. Right now, there are a bunch of babies in there.
Oh.
We counted probably 8 babies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, and that one is very, very approachable, but there's not a lot of shade on that one. Sunscreen, make sure you have plenty of water. Go early to beat the heat.
Okay. Do you ever go to a hike in the early afternoon? Will you ever head out that late?
Yes, this one I actually did in the early afternoon. And now this one, of course, being a meteorologist, I'm watching the sky. This is the view from Lily Pad Lake. This is up in Silverthorne, where I just was. Going across boardwalks, the flowers right now are off the charts.
That looks
just
beautiful.
Spectacular. Lot of shade on this one, those tall pines as you go along. And did you know there's a lake covered with lily pads in Colorado?
I had no idea, but it is beautiful. But producer Colleen, she just kept watching this video over and over again. Look at how tranquil that is.
It's just beautiful. And if you go up to Silverthorne, I would highly recommend staying at the pad. It is a hostel and boutique hotel all in one. It's this unique concept. It's for every different budget level. The rooms, I'll just tell you, they range from about $38 for one of the bunks and one of the dorm rooms up to about $175, $180 right now.
Okay.
So it's very approachable. And Silverthorne, I think, is one of the most underrated
Yes.
mountain towns.
Yes.
It's easy to get to.
Right.
I also
You're
did.
there in no time.
I also did Willow Creek Falls yesterday, and that's a fantastic one too. Okay, so let me take you to this one's a good one. This is Paradise Cove. You'll like this. It's only a mile round trip.
Thank you, Jen. This is Paradise Cove. I'm writing it down right now.
It's in Guffey Gulch, and that's near Florissant, near Cripple Creek, those areas. And just a really unique one. Yes, it has a steep little down, but when you get there, there it is. That is Paradise Cove.
What?
You can see that's one waterfall. There are two in there. You can go swimming in this.
Oh, that's amazing,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
so
Okay.
weekends it's going to be packed. If you can go during the week, go do that. I did this really as a sunset hike.
That looks amazing. Like that looked amazing. Why not do it as a sunset hike, Jen? And she's amazing, everybody. Please follow Jennifer Broome. You can follow her on her social media, Jennifer Broome Travel. You can also check out her website, sweptawaytoday.com. Wherever you're heading, we're going with you.
Sounds
Thank you,
great.
Jennifer. Everybody, have a good day. Get outside.